So sit back and relax. We are going to go through these tools. All right. Some of the tools, most of the power tools I carry on my truck, just walk you through the process of what they are. It'd be like a quick overview of each. This is not a high-end professional website, or not so website, but video. I just want to get through it and give you something like a reference point for some of you all who are attending the apprenticeship class. If you wanted to participate in the apprenticeship class and you're in and around St. Louis, you can just go to the website, kurtcfs.com, click on the chat. Be sure you put your email in there, because in case I miss the chat, I can always email you back. And you want to learn a little bit about the apprenticeship class, of how we're training contractors and giving people real jobs, or setting them up in real businesses and giving them the opportunity to learn this trade, putting them on real work sites and paying them money while they learn. And, if that's not something you'd be interested in or learning more about, definitely visit the website. So I'm going to jump right into it. And I'm just going to walk you through each one of the tools I got on this table. It's not going to be nothing fancy. The phone might ring. This is just kind of me before I go out into the field to share some valuable information with you that you can refer back to. So right behind me, as you see, we just got a table just full of Ryobi tools. That green color is Home Depot's brand of Ryobi tools. I really like the Ryobi tool. It has worked well for me in the field, for home repair and projects, but you can go with whatever brand you want. So that's the brand we'll be using today. They have different brands out here. Makita, Rigid, DeWalt, Milwaukee, and you can pick whatever tool you want, family of tools you want to go with. This is just what works for me. So let's get started. I'm going to start today with a jigsaw. All right. And these will be quick overviews. On this particular jigsaw, this jigsaw is good for when you're cutting boards and you need to cut particular shapes or go around, make curves in your cut. It's very good for that because it turns. You can control it as you cut. It's like a sewing machine. This goes right here. This goes up and down, and I'll show you how to load the blade in there. And so this is a jigsaw. This setting right here, it has a 0 through 3 on it. Okay, and you could set that 0. Basically, the blade goes straight up and down, and as you go up in the numbers, the blade kind of takes a different motion, sort of a semicircular motion. But I typically keep my setting on 0 because I just rather my blade go up and down. Every now and then I do find that when I'm cutting material, that putting it on one of the other settings work a little bit better. There are different types of blades that come. Right here, it shows you, it makes recommendations of where you should have it based on the material that you're cutting. So I use this. I don't use this a ton. I might even use it to cut, if it's nearby and I'm doing a drain under a sink, I might cut the plastic drain with this. It depends on the blade that's on here. And that also makes a difference. The type of blades that you use with any sawing tool, any type of saw tool. Is that distracting? With any type of saw tool, the type of blade that you use on here, based on the material that you're cutting. So let's walk through this a little bit more. I'm going to get a box of my blades here. This is a box of blades that go with that saw, the jigsaw. On these blades, you'll see that T-shaped at the top right here. It's kind of a where's my camera? Okay. So kind of a T-shaped bar at the top. That's designed for this particular saw. Actually, most of these type saws, no matter what brand, this is the type of. There's one other saw blade that goes with the Jigsaw that has a different shape at the top, but most of them, I believe, go with this T-bar at the top. So I'm going to show you how to load this right here. To load this, if you look right here on the side, that's a spring-loaded collar. Now watch what it does. Right there. And when you look here under the bottom, see? So then this T-shape will go in there. And this will go over that wheel. It's a wheel right here. You want the back of the blade in that wheel. So I'm going to slide this right. No, my eyes looking crazy. Here, and to push it up in there, you want to open it by turning the collar like I did, and it'll slide right up in there. And while you have it pushed in there, you let go of the collar, and it locks in. It's locked in there. All right. You can see the teeth on that blade is different from like, there's two other blades. You can see the difference. One's like more smaller teeth. One is like more rigid teeth. It's for cutting different materials. And usually on blades, a lot of times it'll have the type of material it's meant for written on the blade. Like it may have wood written on the blade, or it may have metal written on the blade. So you can use the Jigsaw to cut wood. You can use the Jigsaw to cut metal, depending on the blade that you have on here. So I just got a regular standard blade on here. Let's pop the battery in. Where's my battery? Okay, here's one. So we're gonna pop the battery in. All right, and this goes up and down. You push that. Let me see. All right, you just simply squeeze the trigger, and it's down motion. And you want to cut wood, you set it on your wood, and then you start cutting wood, metal, whatever it is you're cutting with this. So this plate right here, it pivots like side to side, so you can cut at different angles. I hate the plate. I don't really like using it. I keep it on 0. Some of these come with a tool like that so that you can adjust the plates. Just use these that tool for those nuts right there to adjust the plates. And that's it. There's not a whole lot to this tool. Right here you got your power setting. Lower power, higher power at the top. And then from there, that's kind of it. It's not really a complicated tool. Tools are like, power tools are like, they either go up, down, in, out, round and round. And then they make different attachments for the tools based on the type of work that you're doing, you know, for the type of material that you're working with. So a tool that goes in circles, like an angle grinder, like what you'll see, you could build different attachments, put different attachments on there to perform different things depending on what you're doing. So you could use that angle grinder to polish metal, or you could use that angle grinder to cut. You could put a cutting wheel on that angle grinder. Okay. So that is the reciprocating saw. And forgive me for going fast, but even though I'm going fast, I do care about detail. Here's your angle grinder. Was just talking about the angle grinder. On a lot of these, your handle can twist off. All right. Boom, boom, boom. What? You can put it on the other side. Check it out. Left-handed, right-handed, depending on the position of material that you're working with, what else is around in the room, will it get in the way, so on and so forth. These basically This is a beast, right? Let me show you. Got a lot of kick. All right, nothing you want to play with. So you can change this wheel based on the type of work that you are doing. This is a grinding wheel. You know, you can grind things down with that. Well, how do you change the wheel? In this particular case, you see that silver up in there? What's up? Two. What's up? So, and you got these holes. And then you got, look at that. Let's go right in there. And this actually twists off. Okay, so you put that in there. And on the back, you hold that, your thumb on that button. Or your finger or whatever. Then you come around because that's what's going to stop the wheel from turning so that you can loosen this up and take it off. If you don't hold your finger on that button, the wheel just going to keep spinning. You won't be able to take it off. Boom. What do you know? Okay? So I'm going to, let's say I don't want to grind nothing right now. Let's say I want to cut something. I'm going to get my cutting wheel out. I'm going to put that on here. Okay? I'll put that on here. Take this flat side. Actually, yeah, you take the flat side. You take the flat side of this. See, that's kind of raised on that side. You want to use the flat side. Put it on there. Twist it. Tighten it down. Make sure that blade don't go nowhere. Boom. That's on there. Make it tighter. Yes, let's make it tighter. Don't just sit your tools anywhere. You know. Back in the hole. Here we go. I'm gonna use that button to tighten it, to keep it from spinning. All right, the button did engage. I'm gonna tighten it a little bit. It's good to go. Now, I'm ready to cut with this thing. Really great tool, really great tool. The tool goes right back into the handle. All right, and depending on the attachment, you get all kinds of attachments to go on this depending on the type of work that you are doing and what you're working on. You just want to know what the diameter is for your particular tool. It's good to keep this guard on, but you can't take this guard off. It's a latch back here. You just pull that up, right? And when the blade is off, I'm not going to take it back off. You take the cutting wheel off, and then this guard slides right off. It's kind of, in this case, kind of notched. So you have to turn the guard until the notch and the slots align themselves, and it comes right off. Angle grinder. I remember when I was first introduced to this years ago, they called them right angle grinders. I don't know. It's a grinder. So we got that ready to go. Take our battery off. Let's go to the next two. This also goes on an angle grinder. It's actually a polishing wheel. So they make different attachments depending on the work that you are doing. Here's the multi-tool. Really cool, must have, commonly used for sawing. All right. On this, it's a vibrating tool. This blade is backwards. I need to turn it around. All right, so if you, let me show you. Should I do it right? Gotta do it right. Let's see here. Yeah. Be patient. You need an Allen wrench to take that off so we could turn the blade around in a way it's supposed to go. But I have a huge Allen wrench. That's these, look like kind of like a stop sign a little bit, not quite. This is the Allen wrenches. The Allen wrench that I need to take this off is a commonly size that's used a lot. And of course, when you have an Allen wrench set, you seem to always use that lose that one Allen wrench that you can use on a regular basis. So I got to get clever. I took this out of a different kit so I can get this off. It's got to get creative. I'm going to put this in my drill because it can fit in the drill. Right? It's going to tighten. Ain't no battery in it. I'm just going to use it to loosen this up like so. Okay. And then I'm going to turn this blade around. But let me show you something here. If you can see it. Up in here, there are like these notches. Let's see, this one right there. You can probably see it. And then you see here where it's notched off on the edge right there. And notched off on the edge. Those notches lock into each other. Like when I put the blade in here, I just simply sit it like this. And then the notch, you set it on the notch. It's locked on it. And then I turn this and tighten it down on there. All right. Now you're ready to go. Now on this multi-tool, just like anything else, you can get different attachments for this. There's a sanding block that's usually in triangle shape. And it just goes, this tool vibrates side to side. So you could like do some fine tune sanding with it. Like mostly on wood and furniture, not for like drywall sanding. It just wouldn't work at all. Let's see here. So if you look, I'm gonna squeeze it real slow. It goes side to side. That is the motion. That is the only motion it does. But it's a very handy tool. You can use it to, when you got wood, let's say you're having a hard time pulling it away from the wall, like a door frame, like that thing right there, and you want to take this door down, and you want to take the trim off, but it's being a little stubborn, you can slide this in behind that trim, and you can cut through it, and if you got the right blade, you can go through nails and everything. The one thing I like about these are real handy, you know, in a lot of different circumstances, but the blades go dull quick. So you could buy, it's best to buy the blades in the pack. There is somebody on YouTube who shows you how to sharpen the blades, but it's just not worth the time unless you're just in a desperate situation. It's just best to buy another blade. So this is the multi-tool. It vibrates. You can do little wood cuts. Well, I remember not so long ago I was hanging kitchen cabinets, and you know, you put the microwave under the kitchen cabinet. Well, it was off a little bit. It needed to go up a little higher. Well, on the kitchen cabinets, there's a lip that go around the bottom edge. There's a wood, and it actually holds the floor of the cabinet in. So I started to cut away at some of that bottom edge. You can't cut it all the way off because the floor will fall through. So I could push the microwave up under there a little closer to the cabinet. And I use this tool to go around and to cut through that wood and get all the way around there. So they have different blade sizes and widths that you could use. But these are by and large used for cutting wood, like small little detail, you know, tight place and crevices cuts. And it's a multi-tool. All right. This is one of my favorites. All right. Reciprocating saw. When you see this, think destroying something. All right. So this is for commonly used in demolition when you tear down walls and you need to cut something, be it a metal bolt or be it wood studs. If it doesn't have to be perfect, you just need to destroy it and get it out of your way. This your boy right here. All right, this is a reciprocating saw. All right, this thing is nice. So basically, it's not that complicated of a tool. Right here, you lock and unlock your trigger. It allows you to pull and unlock it there. This right here, you lift up, and that's how your blade go in there. See that slot in there? All right. It's a bar that goes right through that slot. And you lift it up and it moves the bar out of the way. Let it go and it locks the blade in there. I'm going to show you how to load that thing up. So let me get a blade. So here you got a blade. The blade has got like a hole in it. That's where that bar goes through that hole and locks it in. So I'm going to do the best I can, y'all. That slot right there. I'm going to stick this blade up in there, all right? But I need to pull this up to get the bar that's in there out of the way. So I do this on video. Woo, that was a miss. Woo. I took my glasses off of y'all and look at what you get. All right, you see what I'm trying to do. Let me get this up. All right, so I got it in the slot. I'm gonna let it go. Let the bar lock it in. It's locked in there. All right, I'm ready to go. If you're thinking demolition, take this with you, okay? This is what they use, these thieves, a lot of thieves use to cut off your converter from under the bottom of your car to get that platinum out. This is ready to go. It's in and out motion. Sawing. What do you want to cut? You buy the blade for it. You want to cut metal? You buy the blade for cutting metal. Look at this. Like I said, Teddy, on a blade, you can't read it because it's backwards. Wood with nails. So if you got wood and it's got nails going through it, no problem. Get this out. It's gonna make it through there. All right. So good tool for just things that are stubborn and you don't care about the aesthetics of it and you don't need a good pretty cut. You just want to disconnect it and get rid of it. This is your buddy right here. Okay. Again, I'm gonna pull this up. It's gonna loosen that blade and it pulls right out. All right. Reciprocating saw. Moving on. Okay. Let's get it out the way. A nailer. Okay. I'm gonna run through the features of this nailer. This nail gun. Where do I start? Now this gun in the back is where you set the power, strong and weak, or whatever, weaker and not as strong. I won't say weak. If you get, while you're working, if you get a nail jammed in your gun, the nails actually come up. They feed through here, pop out, but sometimes you might get a jam right there. It doesn't happen a lot, but it happens sometimes. Well, they got a feature for that. You lift that up, disconnect that, and all right, pull this up, and you see the nails, they come up through there. One might get jammed, you just take it, pull the nail out, hook this back up, latch this back on, you back to work, okay? This right here must be engaged in order for the gun to shoot. So whatever you try to push a nail through, you can't just take this gun and put a battery on it and go pop, 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 pop. No, this has to be engaged. So you want to push this up against the material that you want to drive the nail in, and you pull the trigger and the nail is going to go through. This particular gun also, you can set by rolling this wheel the depth of the nail. So you got kind of oh, this phone calls, I'm sorry.